everybody. Welcome to Saint Misbehavin', the podcast about saints from people who are not. I am your host, Matthew Shadorn, and I am joined as always by my research surf.
You should just edit that just so it says I am joined by my...
I'm joined by my research surf, Anna Domini. Anna, how are you doing today?
Well, that's easy for you to say. Several attempts there. I'm doing pretty well. My outdoor Zumba class got rained off, so I got to have a lie.
Oh, that's nice.
So that was nice. You know, it's like short-term gains of sleep versus long-term health.
Gains of Zumba?
Well, yeah, it's like I was going to go for a run yesterday, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going for Zumba tomorrow, so I need to save myself. So it's just, a prolonging of my sloth.
Yeah, I get that, yeah. I have not done anything very... I went downtown. I took the bus downtown with Tavish and pushed him around for a while. But other than that, I've been pretty...
Babies are pretty heavy. Probably just by carrying him around all the time, you're like, it's like going to a gym.
It is, but then I've found that, like, I really like pushing him around because I can kind of, like, half lean on the stroller. So it's like, it's almost like having my own walker. It's quite nice.
There's a straight pipeline from that to, like, as soon as he gets too big for a pushchair, you're just going to get a Zimmer frame.
Yeah. It's usually pretty easy to push him along and stuff. And if it's downhill, you can just let go of the stroller and it just goes on its own. It's pretty great.
Oh my God.
But Anna, have you done anything saintly or experienced anything miraculous this week?
Could I argue that I did? I had 2 days off this week, and in that time, I did quite a lot of cleaning of the flat.
Oh, okay.
So I'm using my holiday time to better the environment for not just myself, but also for Danny. But I feel like that might just come under the jurisdiction of, being a good partner.
It feels like saintly deprivation because you could have taken a hedonistic and worldly approach to your days off where you just laid on the couch and continued to watch reruns of, I don't know, Everybody Loves Raymond or whatever you like. But instead, you actually dedicated that time to improving the world, and that's beautiful. Even your own just small corner of it.
Thanks.
For you and Danny.
Oh, well, thank you for that acknowledgement.
So, yeah, that's nice.
How about you?
I have done the saintly deed of taking in 2 weary, wayward travelers from foreign land into my own home.
Are you sure that they were strays and not just looking like shit, but actually being looked after like that cat?
No, they are my parents. They're here to visit with mostly the baby.
They're not so interested
They
in
really
you.
are not all that interested in us. And right now they're in the midst of 10-day quarantine, so we'll see how that goes. We're like
So you just like taking trays of food to their room and going, dinner is served, mate.
No, yeah, just sliding it under the door. No, it's actually like, it's very weird because they're in quarantine in our house, which is fine. But Alice and I are not in quarantine, so we can just do whatever we want. So...
Oh, I see. So they're in quarantine, but just like the quarantine area is also shared by you.
Yeah.
And you're not quarantined.
Yeah, so...
And is that what the rules say? That's nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like...
Oh, it's almost like this government does not care.
Almost like that.
Oh, the other miraculous thing, of course, was Wednesday night, seeing our boys.
Boys.
Oh, yeah, I watched a 2-hour football match. I mean, that's
pretty miraculous that you watched
like,
a 2-hour football.
Just being able to run around.
Right.
No, but like for the players, like the fact that they ran around for that long.
But that's just good genes and conditioning.
I'd be dead. Yeah. But yeah, I'd be dead. So yeah, we finally caved and impulse bought a TV license about 10 minutes into the match. Because we couldn't find anywhere free to watch it.
Well, you're probably better off. I think that it would have been a nightmare to watch if we were in the company of maybe, well, I don't know. You and Danny are both English, so maybe it's fine. But I would think it would be a nightmare to be around that many English people that high on their own fucking
exceptionalism. Yeah.
So if they win the Euro, which we're recording this will come out after the Euro's over.
Yeah.
But if they win the Euro, I just feel like
victory for Marxism. That's what I'm hearing. So are you not familiar with this nonsense?
No.
So the England team during the national anthem or just before take a knee in like recognition of Black Lives Matter, and racist people in this country.
What? There are racist people in this? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And there are racist football fans, and racist football fans were booing the team while they did this because they don't like anti-racism.
Right.
Which you could say if you're anti-racism,
Seems
you are
pro-racism. Yeah, let's do the math on that. It seems like those antis cancel each other out. What are we left with?
So then they're like, oh no, it's not anti-racism that we don't like, it's Marxism. And they try and claim that Black Lives Matter is a Marxist ideology. Like, literally saying that people who are black, their lives matter is not exactly, religion is the opiate of the people.
Right.
But somehow that's what people hear at the same time. So, so it's been like, there's been this whole nonsense of like, Tory apologists for this behaviour saying, the fans should be able to express their opposition to Marxism. It's all part of the manufactured culture, basically.
The fans should be able to express their racism. Yeah, their opposition to people of color, or not. I'm not saying that. I don't think that's right. I don't think.
Well, thank you for clarifying.
Also, when I was reading something that was saying that like, the squad, like 8 out of 11, their parents came from somewhere else, and it's just like
so there was that whole thing of Priti Patel posing a fake kind of celebration of the result, and it's like if your policies were in place at the wrong time, then like half of this team wouldn't, more than half of this team wouldn't be there. Kind of thing.
I've always racism within sports to be such a strange thing to do, because it's a lot of people of color, and you're gonna go on there, you're gonna cheer on the fact that they're supporting your country, and then off the field you're gonna be like, well, they don't deserve whatever, they don't deserve human rights, basically is what they're saying.
It's very weird.
It's really fucked up. And then it's just like, but no, they're the best of us or whatever bullshit. I mean, this is the whole thing with keeping politics out of sports. Some of the greatest heroes of sports are that because they're explicitly political. Like they have done things that they've used their position to fight for the rights of the underprivileged. Yeah. And that's what's great about them, It's so fucked up. Anyways.
Yep.
So
it's a nice moment because it's like vindicating that particular team.
Yeah. The final is tomorrow as we record this. We're about a week ahead of time. And I don't know if it would be better or worse if all I can think of is if they don't win, I feel like that a lot of poor Italian people are going to get beaten up. And I just feel really bad about that.
So this is another great thing about football fans in this country. During like tournaments, it's something like if England lose, domestic violence goes up by like 50%. Yeah. And if England win, it goes up by 20%.
Yeah, that is another statistic I'd seen. It's just like, it's not even if they lose, if they play, it goes up.
Yeah, well, obviously it means if they play, it goes up. But the difference is, anyway, it's horrible. So from that perspective, I guess you would want to win because the percentage is smaller.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Wait, did I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they lose, it goes up.
Yeah, if they go, it goes up more. Yeah.
The thing is, like watching the Denmark match, it was like, well, yes, okay, they're out of this tournament. It's sad for them, but also they're still in the EU and they have like a functioning economy and government.
Denmark was never in the EU.
Was it
Denmark's not on the euro, and so
well, neither were Britain.
Oh, that's true. All right, never mind then. Yeah, I forgot about that.
The UK, I should say. No, but like in terms of protecting workers' rights and tax evasion and environmental stuff.
And also Copenhagen's really nice.
That's a good point as well.
Have you ever been? It's really nice. Worth a trip.
Go.
All right.
We'll find some saint related to Denmark at some point, and then we can add it to the tour.
So
anyway, we've been
I gotta cut out like an hour of this. And
fair enough.
So today is July 18th.
Phew. It is indeed.
Who is today's saint?
Today's saint is Bartolomé de las Casas.
Bartolomé de las Casas.
De las Casas.
De las Casas. So Bartholomew of
multiple
of the
houses?
Of the castles?
Oh, maybe. I thought it was houses, but
Casas.
I couldn't actually find a translation.
So I'm taking it that he is Spanish.
Correct. Well guessed.
Thank you.
Was that from my accent?
Yeah, your flawless Spanish accent.
Gracias.
So what's the deal with Bartholomew here?
Let's launch into it,
shall we?
Let's do it. So He was born in Seville in 1484 on the 11th of November.
Okay.
His father...
On 11/11. That's handy.
Easy to remember.
It is, isn't
yeah.
it? That's nice, because the best thing about that is it works in American and European.
UK,
yeah, that's very nice.
His father was Pedro de las Casas, a merchant descended from one of the families that had migrated from France to found Christian Seville.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, I guess, aristocratic-y, kind of Christian-y family.
So they had gone to proselytize in Seville.
Well, their ancestors
had, right. To get, I guess, to get out, what, Moors? Like Moorish?
Yeah.
Because Spain was...
So.
I don't know how Moorish Spain was at times, but it was pretty Muslim. I think it was fairly Muslim at some point. I don't know.
This is origin story stuff, really, that I did not cover in most.
All right, never mind though. So there's a lot
more fact.
They came from France to spread the gospel to the people of Seville specifically, and then what happened?
Well, then one of their descendants was a merchant called Pedro and had a son called Bartolomé.
Oh, cool! Wow. Then it all worked out in the end.
So what's his deal?
Yes.
So tradition has it that Las Casas studied a licentiate, which is a kind of degree, at Salamanca, but he never mentioned it in his own writings, so we don't know where this.
So that might be an embellishment of people after the fact.
For his qualifications, As a young man, in 1502, he travelled with his father to the island of Hispaniola. Sounds innocent enough.
In the New World.
Yep. In 1502. So Las Casas Jr. became a hacendado and a slave owner.
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
No.
So you can see why he became a saint.
Yeah. Well, there we go. And that's the end of the episode.
It all makes sense.
So wait, what's a hacenado? Was it?
Someone who owns a hacienda.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So like a slavey landowner.
Right, great. Slavey landowner, yeah. That's
the exact translation.
Aren't all landowners slavers? Really?
I mean, yeah. No. Let's not minimize the crimes.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
At the same time, down with landlords.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Hey, you own land and I don't, because technically I only own, because I'm in a flat, I only own the airspace in the building.
To own the air? How worse is that, to own the air? Be like, you can't breathe without Anna say so. It's terrible.
I guess so.
There's lots of places to stand, but you can only got one air to breathe.
So anyway, no, you're worse for sure.
Okay, fine.
But yes, so he received a piece of land in the province of Cibao.
Okay.
And participated in slave raids and military expeditions against the native Taino population of Hispaniola.
Oh, boy, this guy gets better and better, doesn't he? Oh, okay. So
it's all becoming clear.
It's
right?
like he is like, I am gonna subjugate whoever I can find. I got to bring people in. Yeah. That's fine. I'm gonna find them here. They're getting subjugated. Doesn't matter. He's doing what he can to keep people down.
I'm an equal opportunity subjugator.
You know what? That's probably true. There's probably a number of Spanish people he was pretty shitty to too.
Probably. Yeah. Well, 8 years later, in 1510, he was ordained a priest.
Oh, yeah, checks out. Yeah, that's like, that seems to be the arc that
he was upholding the good Christian values as we know them.
Yeah, exactly. He's whatever. Yeah. So.
So yeah, he was the first priest to be ordained in the Americas.
Oh, what an exciting first person.
Like, look at my commitment to Jesus. I own so many people.
Yeah, I certainly have quite a flock. And it's like, those are all not what you do there. That's not nice. Okay, so he becomes a priest.
Just a young guy traveling around, owning people, loving Jesus.
Yeah.
What's the contradiction?
Checks
there?
out. All checks out.
So later that year, in September, a group of Dominican friars arrived in Santo Domingo, led by a guy called Pedro de Cordoba, and appalled by the injustices they saw committed by the slave owners against the natives, they decided to deny slave owners the right to confession.
Aha.
And it's like, I'm so sad, I'll just cry into my piles of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even though he was a priest, for this reason, Bartolomé was among those denied confession.
Yeah, well, fuck him then. You know what I say to that? He can go right to hell.
Yeah, basically. It makes sense.
No absolution for these sins, buddy boy. Good for those Dominican. Can I just say, shout out to the Dominican friars here. Those guys, they knew. This is the thing that, like, I was listening to a history podcast that was talking about how, like, at every time in the world, there have been people who are just like, hey, this is fucked up. Like, there are people who are always raising their hand being like, hey, this thing you're doing, it's terrible, okay? Yeah. I know you're okay with it, and everybody else seems to be okay with it, but just for the record, it's terrible. But then, but the unfortunate thing is that some of those people were just born in the 15th century, where people were just like, well, take it, tell your story walking, buddy. We don't give a shit. We've got slaves. But anyways, so, and I feel like that's nice. Anyways, I mean,
so yes,
there's been
Dominicans were that
they were the most progressive people. Can you wrap your head around that? The most progressive people in the New World were a bunch of Catholic monks. Yeah,
for sure.
Anyways,
so yeah, in 1511, a Dominican preacher named Fray Antonio de Montesinos preached a fiery sermon that implicated the colonists in the genocide of the native people.
Good for him.
Yeah.
So, he ain't wrong, is he?
Cannot make jokes about that because it's just true. Yep. But Las Casas, the saint in question, remember, argued against the Dominicans in favor of the justice of the system of slavery. Yay!
Why are we talking about
this?
He was
like, I'm being cancelled.
Exactly. Yeah. He's like,
I'm speaking up for the slave owners who are afraid to say anything.
Yeah, the silent majority of the small minority of people who own.
By the woke.
Yeah. Oh, the PC police are here to say I can't have slaves. Well. Look, they're gonna come for you.
These days, you can't even exploit a bunch of people without being told you're no longer allowed to do confession.
Yeah.
I mean, cancel culture.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So you whip some people to death and then take sexual favors with women against their will, and suddenly you're the bad guy. Okay, when did that happen?
If exploiting loads of people is racist in your modern day vocabulary, then I guess that makes me a racist.
Hey, I think you pointing out that slavery is racist makes you the racist, huh? I don't see color, okay? I don't care what color my slaves
Apart
are.
from gold. The only color I see is gold.
That's right. And I'm going to need these people to dig up some more gold or they're going to get whipped to death. So, okay, so he's out there fighting the good fight.
The bad fight.
Yeah. I guess it would be the bad fight. Yeah, he's out there fighting the bad fight for slavery. Hot take, really, just, yeah.
Standing up for the little guy. So the colonists dispatched a complaint against the Dominicans to the king. So the king stepped in. Guess what happened?
He sided against the powerful landowners with the nice monk men.
Yeah, that checks out for what a king would do. No, of course the Dominicans were recalled from Hispaniola. So yeah, it is like it's worse to call someone a racist than to be racist.
Right.
So it's an analogous.
They're basically like, hey, you're really like, how about some civility here? These monks are just not being very civil, and it's just like they can't, if they're not going to have a civil discussion about how these rich people are enslaving human beings.
I mean, enslaving is a strong term.
It is very strong. You're right. I'm sorry. They're
genocide is a strong word, and we shouldn't use strong words.
They're forcing friendship on these human beings.
Well, we wouldn't go so far as to say human beings.
Oh yeah,
that was me in the voice of the king.
Yeah. No, obviously. I get that. Yeah.
Treading a line. So in 1513, as a chaplain,
Charlie Chaplin.
Las Casas.
Oh.
Las Casas participated in the conquest of Cuba. So I like this as like, we're going to go and fuck over Cuba, but we got to take a man of the cloth with us,
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I feel like I've oppressed everybody on Hispaniola. I mean, like, I feel like I've done as much as I can do. I think it's time to move on to another island.
Yeah, basically. So he participated in campaigns at Bayamo and Camagüey and in the massacre of Hatuey.
Wait, participated how? Like,
I don't know, but I feel like that wasn't within his chaplain job description,
Just blessing the wholesale slaughter of...
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Either way, participated doesn't sound good.
No. No. Yeah, you don't want your name associated with these things. But he's there, he's like, yeah, that was me. It's like he's like leaning into all the pictures with a big stupid grin on his face.
Standing over dead bodies, like,
just two thumbs
with
up.
His thumbs up.
Yeah. Take a picture of me with these corpses. Oh no, take a picture of me in front of the pile of corpses. It's gonna be looking like I'm lifting up the pile of corpses.
Oh my god. The Leaning Tower of Corpses.
Yeah.
Oh god. He witnessed many atrocities committed by the Spaniards against the native people and later wrote I saw here cruelty on a scale no living being has ever seen or expects to see. So I love that it's about him. He's like, no one should have to see that.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
That is classic.
Not saying it didn't have to happen. We're all, nobody here is saying we shouldn't do cruelty. All I'm saying is that I saw it. And
it's just a bit indecent. Yeah. So as a result of these campaigns that he participated in, Las Casas and his friend Pedro de la Renteria were awarded a joint encomienda.
What's that?
So I think it's like a grant from the Spanish government, whatever, the monarchy, that allows you to just own a load of land, despite anyone who may be there.
Right. No, that's this all checks out. Yeah, this guy is he? I'm gonna guess ahead. He's the patron saint of colonizers because he really seems to be. I mean, he is killing it. By it, I mean the native people and the indentured people that he has dragged into Hispaniola.
So you're calling it early.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like maybe there isn't a patron saint of colonizers.
One would hope there isn't.
Which, is probably one of the things that, is caused by cancel culture.
Right, yeah.
It's like straight pride. It's like, why isn't there a patron saint of colonizers? It's like, do you need one? Really?
Oh, suddenly it's bad to colonize a place where people live. Murder all the native people there. Guess I'm the jerk.
Well, this is a fun sentence.
Oh, I hope so.
So the encomienda was rich in gold and slaves.
Oh.
Two resources that you want, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, how are you going to get one without the other? I mean, honestly, it's a feedback loop.
I've got all this gold, but no way of extracting it. Lucky I've got all these people.
Right. And once you have the gold, you can get more people. See, it just all works out.
It's virtuous circle. So during
the
the
system
next 2 years,
works, Anna. The system works. That's all I'm saying.
So all the evidence is there.
Yeah.
During the next few years, this is the best sentence that I read in this account.
Okay.
He divided his time between being a colonist and his duties as an ordained priest.
Okay.
It's like listening to confession by day, whipping people by night.
This is great. I mean, it's great that he can do both, right? He doesn't have to choose between being a man of the cloth and it's right. It's funny that he doesn't find any contradiction in what he's doing.
Well, it's interesting you should say that.
Oh, good.
Because a year later, a whole year, and bear in mind this is 12 years after he first travelled to the West Indies.
Hispania.
Yeah. In 1514, he was studying a passage for a sermon and pondering its meaning. The passage, Ecclesiasticus 34, 18-22, reads, "If one sacrifices from what has been wrongfully obtained, the offering is blemish. The gifts of the lawless are not acceptable. Like one who kills a son before his father's eyes is the man who offers sacrifice from the property of the poor. The bread of the needy is the life of the poor. Whoever deprives them of it is a man of blood." So essentially saying that, even without the genocide that was also being happening, just the exploitation itself is violence, and taking from people, if you make an offering to God, but it's made of stuff that you took from people, then it's meaningless. Right.
The machinery of capitalism is oiled with the blood of the workers.
Yeah. As Marcus Rashford said last week. Thank you. So, having read this, Las Casas was finally convinced that all the actions of the Spanish in the New World had been illegal and that they constituted a great injustice.
No.
Which is fantastic because,
I'm sorry. Is this his first trip through the Bible? Like, he's just flipping through the Bible for the first time and it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what I thought as well. It's like all the other stuff where it's like, love your neighbor and everything else.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
This is, but at least he got there in the end, right?
I guess.
Right?
Well, 13 years at least too late here. So so he's in his 30s now, right?
So 84, So to 14, that's exactly 30, isn't it?
So he's 30 years. So it took him 30 years of living, not even with the
as both a colonizer and a priest.
As a colonizer and a priest. Not even like I think most of us who never lived with slavery would be that's fucked up. To be but to live with the brutality of it and the brutality of colonization on a day-to-day basis and to actively participate in it and then
not think it's wrong until you found a passage
13 years on and then you just happen to read hey, wait a minute, guys, I've been reading this book, it's called the Bible or something, and it turns out it makes a good point that says that maybe what we're doing here isn't great.
It isn't fantastic.
Yeah, I think that maybe I don't want to be too harsh here because I don't want to be one of those cancel culture jerks. It might be wrong to enslave people.
Yeah. So as you can imagine, that made him a lot of friends.
Yeah, it did. So, wow, that's surprising. I really thought it would have alienated him to a lot of people around him. But please go on.
So he made up his mind to give up his slaves and his encomienda and started to preach that other colonists should do the same. Mm-hmm. When his preaching met with resistance, can't think why.
Yeah, because he was Captain Slavery last week. Because he was.
I think it was more just like it wasn't even the hypocrisy. It was more just like, no thanks, I want to keep them all, please. I'm enjoying being rich.
It's like, hey Bart, do you not get that it's like free labor? Like we don't have to pay for the labor. And that's kind of the whole deal. And it's really nice for us.
It works really well for us.
Yeah, being, unrepentant sociopaths is really working out for us.
But have you considered that you're hurting people?
You know what? I haven't even considered that they're people, but thanks for asking. Yeah. So he turns and he's like, okay, so I think actually we shouldn't have slaves. Mm-hmm. And this doesn't go well with his neighbors.
No, this doesn't make him friends. So he realized that he would have to go to Spain and fight there against the enslavement and abuse of native people.
Even though there were no native people there?
Well, yeah, because that's where most of the power still is.
I suppose that's true.
So aided by Pedro de Cordoba. So he did manage to win over his nearest neighbor, I guess.
The guy who got the grant with him.
Yeah, I guess he would have had to get him to agree to give it up. Accompanied, but also give up. It's like, did he just sell it? Because I don't know.
It's always very ambiguous
how he gave it up.
With these giving like that was like the saint who gave away all his property to his neighbors. It's like, well, his neighbors already had some property. It probably wasn't that nice. By give up, I mean I sold it at quite a nice profit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would have been good if he'd been like, okay, I'm just going to give it back to the people who were living here before.
Yeah. Maybe he did.
Like, you can have all the gold.
But
yeah, maybe.
But I feel like as soon as you do that, then your neighbors go like, cool, we're just going to murder them now and take it back.
Yeah.
Sorry, again, we have no morals. Sorry.
Indeed. So, yeah, aided by his friend and accompanied by another guy called Antonio de Montesinos, he left for Spain in September 1515, arriving in Seville in November. He arrived in Spain with the plan of convincing the king to end the encomienda system.
Big.
Fairly ambitious.
Yeah, big it is. I was going to say big plans. Big plans.
I can't win over my neighbors, so I'm going to try and win over the king.
Hey, guys, this is a real lesson for today's episode. Is shoot for the moon, because you might land in Seville.
Might free some slaves.
Yeah, free some slaves. I mean, you know what? Let's just go for it. Don't. Also, you know what? Yeah. You know what? When facing the tyranny of slavery and the genocide, the slow genocide of multiple peoples. Yeah, fucking go for it. There's really no point for half measures there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice lesson.
Yeah, I think that's really, you can't be like, hey, let's compromise on this. And what if we only enslave people like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays?
If only that was the proposed solution.
Yeah. See, this is the, you want the 40-hour slave week is what you're trying to get into. And anyways.
So yeah, this was easier thought than done, as most of the people who were in positions of power in Spain were themselves profiting from the influx of wealth from the New World. Yeah. Surprising.
They're like, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you were saying over the sound of all my gold jewelry landing. Clinking around. Yeah. Like, sorry, what were you saying? It's so hard to hear with all these gold chains just around my neck.
Yeah. Indeed. In the winter of 1515, the King Ferdinand lay ill in Plasencia, but Las Casas was still able to get a letter of introduction to him from the Archbishop of Seville. Mm-hmm. And on Christmas Eve of 1515, it's a true Christmas feel-good movie, this one.
Oh my God. You know what? You say Christmas Eve and suddenly my hopes are way up, so... Please don't destroy my faith in Christmas.
That's what Saint Misbehaven's all about.
Oh.
On Christmas Eve of 1515, he met the monarch and discussed the situation in the Indies with the king. The king agreed to hear him out in more detail at a later date. So he was like, this sounds bad, but I don't want to ruin my own Christmas.
It's like, it's the holidays. My wife's family's coming over, and then we have to go, I have to go see a friend, and it's a whole thing. And then New Year's, I agreed to do this ski thing with some buddies, and I really regret it now, but I already paid a deposit, and it's like the whole... I mean, I really
at
this point, I just really wish I had stayed home. I feel like I've overscheduled my holidays. But like, come on, January, we'll talk about this.
Basically.
Also, this guy's on his deathbed. It's just like...
Yeah, bit of a waste of time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess it's good to bug people about ending slavery all the time, but...
There's never a bad time.
But I was saying,
I mean, apparently Christmas Eve is not a good time.
Yeah, well, yeah. But on your deathbed, I feel like if I was on my deathbed, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Especially not this whiny bitch.
Yeah, especially somebody I don't really like. So they talked about it at a later date then? So that worked out? Cool.
Sadly not.
Oh.
Because on the 25th of January, the king died.
Oh.
And the regency of Castile passed on to two people.
Uh-huh.
One was Cardinal Jimenez Cisneros, and the other was Adrian of Utrecht.
Oh.
And
the art supply baron.
They were guardians of Prince Charles, who was going to be King Charles, but he was currently underage.
Oh, okay.
So Las Casas was resolved to see Prince Charles, but on his way there, he passed Madrid and delivered to the regent.
And once you go to Madrid, you don't want to go anywhere else.
Especially, it's really bloody in the Indies. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to go back.
I could just hang out in Madrid, which is really nice. And lots of nice parks and good restaurants, coffee shops. They got the Prado there. That's a beautiful museum. It's just, why would you want to go anywhere else? Yes, it's just like pop into Madrid and you're just like, you know what? Yeah. I mean, it's a shame about those people in slavery, but what am I going to do?
Well, no. In fact, in Madrid, he was able to talk to the regents.
Oh.
So Cisneros and Adrian. And his proposed remedies for the situation, which he set out in a document called Memorial de Remedios para la Señora.
Remedy number 1, free the slaves.
oh, if only it were that simple.
Let those guys go. They didn't do nothing to nobody.
In his early work, Las Casas advocating relieving the suffering of the natives by importing black slaves from Africa. Genius!
Oh, man. He was so
we had
close.
Such high hopes. Oh, God.
Oh, man. That's... Guys, the natives.
Very disappointing.
What if we took natives from somewhere else? And then they wouldn't be natives.
Transported them, and then they wouldn't be natives.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Genius.
So we have all these natives in Hispaniola. What if we sent them to Africa to be slaves? And then we got the Africans. And no natives would be slaves because everybody would be foreigners. Guys, I solved it all. Wow. His solution to slavery was more slavery.
More slavery.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And he's a saint. Good. All right. Got it. Yeah.
I mean, do you know? I feel like we can end it there.
I'm gonna need a few minutes to go scream into a pillow. Okay, so his remedy is more slaves.
It's almost like homeopathy as a remedy.
How so?
Because it's like
a little bit of what's ailing you will heal you, right?
Yeah.
But his solution was
a little bit more slaves will solve the slaves.
A lot more slaves.
Yeah.
If we kind of dilute the slaves, we won't even notice all those native slaves.
Oh.
Ugh, okay.
So yes, sadly, this reflects that his first concern was not, in fact, to end slavery as an institution, but to end the physical abuse and suffering of the natives in Hispaniola.
But doesn't he see that there would be physical? Oh my God, I don't get how this works. It's like you want to end physical suffering,
but only for some people.
By dragging in some people who are completely separate to the situation.
Yeah, this isn't my problem.
Yeah, wait, why do I have to fix your problem? Shut up, just get on this boat.
Oh God.
Okay, so
well, apparently, in keeping with the legal and moral doctrine of the time, he believed that slavery could be justified if it was the result of just war. And at the time...
Just war. Just any war.
No, as in just war theory.
Yeah, I know. I get that. Yeah.
It's just war slaves.
It's just war. They're war slaves. That's all it was. Like, that's our leaving a sin.
Surely, also, that is a bad doctrine. Like, I mean, obviously, any slavery is bad, but like, it's okay if they were captured during a war. Like, what?
Yeah, well, they're losers. Why not? Yeah.
The Donald Trump school of solving problems.
Exactly. Hey, listen, whatever you do to losers is fine. I mean, if they were worth a damn, they'd have won the war, wouldn't they? Huh?
Oh, God. So at the time, he assumed that, therefore, the enslavement of Africans was justified.
Great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm sorry I misjudged this guy. Now I see the logic of it.
But yeah, right now I've explained it. I think we can all agree.
Yeah. Great.
This is a great solution.
Yeah. No flaws in this plan. I'm you know what? I put all the math on a board here and I'm looking at it and it all checks out.
There we go. And you've got 2 degrees in economics.
I do.
So,
yeah.
It's all fine. So, worried by the visions that Las Casas had described of the situation in Hispaniola, Cardinal Cisneros decided to send a group of Hieronymite monks to take over the government of the islands. And at the same time, Las Casas was granted the official title of Protector of the Indians. Presumably, in brackets, it'd be like oppressor of other people, though.
Yeah. Protector of the Indians, comma, and no one else.
So he was given a yearly salary of 100 pesos, which is presumably
like
not huge. I don't know, in those times, maybe it would have been a lot, but probably not as much as owning a load of people and gold.
Yeah. I mean, certainly for all the land he used to own and the people, he's probably having a huge drop in his quality of life.
Yeah.
Or at least
unlike any, African people
yeah.
who would have been having a great time at this point. In his new office, Las Casas was expected to serve as an advisor to the new governors with regard to Indian issues, to speak the case of Indians in court, and send reports back to Spain.
Mm-hmm. We should also say that they're saying Indian.
Yes. Yeah. So, because his title was Protector of the Indians.
Yeah, okay. The native peoples of...
I'd say natives, but yeah.
The indigenous people.
Obviously once they...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But obviously once they become trafficked, it's more complex. Anywho. But yes, that was, I guess, like his job description. So, yeah, from Spain, Las Casas and the commissioners travelled to Santo Domingo on separate ships. Mm-hmm. And so Las Casas arrived 2 weeks later than the Hieronymite monks.
And they were all dead.
Well, 2 weeks was enough time for the Hieronymites to get there and be like, oh, actually, I think it's a bit more nuanced than all the genocide that Bartolomé was describing, and maybe we should hear out the slave owners. Sadly, I think it's like, one of those sliding door moments where it's like, if only they'd got on the same boat, right, things might have been different.
And yeah, and like Bart shows up and he's like, are you sitting on a pile of gold? What? No. Is this gold? Oh, this was here when I got here. Well, whatever.
I don't see color. I don't see gold.
Or yeah. I mean, it seems much more complex. I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the rattling of all the coins just pouring out of your pockets.
Yeah. Well, so it's described as basically their situation was precarious because every encomendero on the island was fiercely against any attempts to curtail their use of native labor. Wonder why.
Fair.
Consequently, the commissioners were unable to take any radical steps towards improving the situation of the natives. So presumably it's not like, if we're taking an optimistic view, it's not that they were like, ooh, gold. It was more like, I don't want to get shot by these angry colonizers.
Yeah, it was more like they showed up and they were like, hey guys, you're going to have to stop using slaves. And they're like, great, let's have this discussion. Let me just put this musket to your head. And now let's talk about whether we should have slaves or not. And it's like, actually, maybe it's more nuanced than I thought. That makes more sense. That is when I say fair, I mean, that's like, yeah, I can see how they would be like, actually, I don't want to be horribly murdered by these guys who clearly have, again, zero moral code. So yeah, I've seen what they've done on a big scale. I don't want to see what they do on like an individual scale, say to my genital area.
Oh, but then again, these guys presumably are white, so they might feel like more protected.
It's funny how quickly things like being white go out the window once you threaten people's livelihood.
Money.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we're all the same race. It's like, nah, it turns out we're not. Turns out, hey, guy, it turns out race is a construct. Just figured that out. Anyways, gonna murder you now.
I'm actually, very enlightened. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah. So, I don't see color. I'm an equal opportunity atrocity maker.
Yeah, it's like how in like the Deep South, if you were not a racist, then as a white person, that they would see you, like the racist would basically group you together with black people.
Well, then you were a communist. It's exactly the same as the situation we were talking about before, where it's like either you're a racist or you're some other group of people who are completely unacceptable for ideological reasons.
Yeah, nothing to do with racism. Yeah. Anyway.
And it all turned out fine. Oh, well.
So they did manage to revoke some encomiendas, especially from those who were living in Spain and not actually there to oversee things.
Convenient.
So Las Casas turns out, it's like, did you manage to free any slaves? Like, oh, actually we did, on these unsupervised encomiendas.
I mean, there must have been somebody that was supervising. Otherwise, they'd be like, wait, are you guys still slaves? There's nobody here.
But it's a bit like, you know, if you complain to like a customer service person and you're being entitled, and then it's like, well, I'm going to leave you a bad review. It's like, I don't own the place. Why would I give a fuck? It's a similar situation, I imagine.
It's like, oh, your boss told me to let all the slaves go, so you should do that. Like, well, okay, if the boss says so. Wow, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
They also carried out an inquiry into, quote, the Indian question, at which all the encomenderos asserted that the natives were incapable of living freely without their supervision.
But they were...
It was an inquiry. I mean, they had an inquiry, Matthew. Case closed.
Obviously, no inquiry could ever be like manipulated. And
No. I think they arrived at this through science.
Yeah, obviously. It's just, I mean...
And an unbiased discussion.
See, being white men, they're unbiased, as opposed to the native peoples.
They are the default.
Yeah, because the native people...
the native people would have vested interest in not being exploited and murdered.
Yeah.
So that would colour their account.
I love this bullshit excuse. They're like, man, they were so excited when we got here, because they didn't even know. They were all starving to death. They hadn't figured out how to get food or have shelter. It's like, thank God we showed up when we did. It's oh my God. Okay, so
white centrism. When he accused the Hieronymites, Las Casas was disappointed and infuriated.
No.
So he accused the Hieronymites of being complicit in kidnapping the natives, and unsurprisingly, the relationship between him and the commissioners then broke down. In fact, he'd become a hated figure by Spaniards all over the islands, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And he had to seek refuge in the Dominican monastery.
Okay.
The Dominicans, you may remember, had been the first to indict the encomenderos. And
it's like,
they continued.
Well, Luku came crawling back. Yeah. Well, suddenly somebody's not so high and muddy. So on slavery.
Yeah, they would have had a great time. So, but no, I guess they sort of were like, my enemy's enemy is my friend. And they continued to chastise the colonizers and refuse the absolution of confession to slave owners.
So wait, if you showed up to confession, they would just be like, la 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 la, I can't hear you, la 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 la.
Basically, they even stated that priests who took their confession were committing a mortal sin. So that's good.
Yeah, good for them. Fuck them. You know what? You want absolution for a thing that you are currently doing and planning to do in the future.
Yeah. So in May 1517, Las Casas travelled back to Spain to denounce to the regent the failure of the Hieronymite reforms.
So this is great. It's like, hey, I am going to get on this boat. You're going to be in so much trouble in about 3 months.
Yeah. His plan that he wanted to suggest it involved abolishing the encomiendas and congregating the natives into self-governing townships where they would become tribute-paying vassals of the king. So maybe better?
Wait, I'm confused. Like, so he's like, we should restructure these from being individually owned estates to villages that are controlled by the king. What?
No. So they're self-governing.
Right.
So I think the idea would be that, they'd be like tax paying to the king. So the Spanish Empire would still be making a profit, but the people wouldn't be, being treated horrendously.
Oh, okay. That's something.
Because obviously, the white man's money was still important to this Christian guy.
Right. Well, I think, or is it a thing where he's like, the king is still getting his money? So he's saying to the king, like, look, if you do this, we can stop having slavery and you still get your money. So it's a win-win for you, I guess. Or like you win either way.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, you're the king.
Yeah, he's the king. So
you do win either way.
Yeah, he wins every way. It's crazy how that works.
And then another part of the plan, years later, he suggested that the loss of Indian labour for the colonists could be replaced by allowing the importation of
African
slaves.
Hey, come on. Africa, it's right there. Guys, Africa, it's the solution to all our problems.
No one's thought of this before. Yeah.
Guys, what part of getting people from another country and importing them here to be slaves do you not understand? And as being morally superior to enslaving the people who are already here.
Yeah, very odd. Another important part of the plan was to introduce a new kind of, quote, sustainable colonization.
All right. This feels like greenwashing. Like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, this is fair trade slavery. What? That doesn't make any sense.
It's small batch artisanal colonization.
I think so. One of his issues was that the population was declining in like a very extreme, rapid way.
The native population,
because of all the murder.
Yeah, well, you don't say.
So he's like, this isn't sustainable.
Yeah.
So when we bring in these new slaves, we're gonna not kill so many, okay?
Hey guys,
fair trade.
Hey guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna murder fewer slaves, okay? I mean, that's rule number one. And people were like, "What the fuck?" I also I love fair trade slavery. That's a funny phrase. Anyways,
the original phrase was sustainable colonization.
Sustainable colonization. That feels like it came out of a boardroom from like ExxonMobil or something. Like that's something they're like, here's our new initiative, guys. It's called sustainable colonization.
Totally. So, I mean, you could argue that it's just US foreign policy, am I right?
Hey. Come on. You're right, but still.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah. I mean, yes, but no, I got no backup for that. I got no.
Yes, but that's hurtful.
Yeah, but hey, that's me. Okay, that's my interests. Oh wait, now I get it. Now I see that imperialism is wrong. You're just jealous because Britain doesn't get to do imperialism anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, hurts, doesn't it?
So another option that Las Casas advocated was
can't wait
to support.
Man, this guy with his solutions.
He's got so many ideas.
Okay.
He advocated supporting the migration of Spanish peasants to the New World.
The supported.
Okay, so not people of color. Okay, what about poor white people?
Yeah, what if we took the poor and quote unquote encouraged them with quote unquote cages and manacles to go there as well?
Well, the idea was that they would incentivize it by introducing small-scale farming and agriculture, a kind of colonization that didn't rely on resource depletion and Indian labor. So Las Casas worked to recruit a large number of peasants who would want to travel to the islands. So it'd be like, it's even sunnier over there.
Yeah.
You want to come?
Yeah.
You want to come get your own little farm?
Come on.
They did offer them cash advances, lands, and the tools and resources they would need to establish themselves there.
It's like
globalization.
Yeah.
It's great. Multicultural. I think this is his best idea.
In some ways, it's his best idea. Quick question. So we're not using the labor of the native people, but we are giving a bunch of land to Spanish people moving to the islands. And then at that point, where do the native people go? Do you see how
they could stay on the land if they just decided that they wanted to be owned by the peasants.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
See, this is what I'm saying. Is like, it seems like at that point, it's just like, well, great. Hey, we're not going to enslave you anymore. Also, you can't stay here. Sorry.
But I hear there's a lot more space now in Africa.
Yeah. Well, we slaughtered a lot of people in Cuba. You could probably pop over there. Lots of space.
Oh, gosh. So, unsurprisingly, the recruitment drive was difficult. And sadly, during the process, the power relation shifted at court when Chancellor Sauvage, Las Casas' main supporter at court, unexpectedly died.
Oh, that's a shame.
So in the end, a much smaller number of peasant families were sent than originally planned, and they were supplied with insufficient provisions and no support secured for their arrival.
Sure.
Those who survived the journey were ill-received and had to work hard even to survive in the hostile colonies.
Yep, this all checks out. Yeah, okay.
All checks out.
I mean,
Las Casas.
It does seem like he was going like, hey, know how you're a poor tenement farmer here? How about you go and be a poor tenement farmer in a country you don't know anything about?
Yeah.
And it'll require a perilous months-long journey that may kill you.
And did.
And did, in many cases.
Yeah,
did.
so...
When I say may, it's probably.
Air quotes, asterisks,
yeah.
Terms and conditions. Las Casas was devastated by the tragic result of his peasant migration scheme.
It's like, I really thought that one was gonna work.
Basically, he felt he'd been thwarted by his enemies.
Oh, yeah. Was his enemies like logic and nature and like fucking...
His enemy was the sea.
Yeah, the sea. the Spanish people. Anyways, yeah.
Basically, after this point, there were several unsuccessful attempts by Las Casas to establish alternative, less exploitative systems, such as setting up trade as opposed to, like, so that you were offering something in return for all the resources that were in the area.
Are you talking about just like employing the native people?
And setting up monasteries that would build community with the natives while converting them to Christianity.
Oh, Christ.
Psychological colonizing.
Yeah, what if we colonized their brains instead of... Yeah, I love how all his solutions are like half right. Yeah. It's like, what if we gave them stuff to be slaves? It's like a salary? No, just like traded goods with... I mean, they still have to do the work, but yeah, this guy's... does he turn it around here? I'm really starting to suspect he's not going to turn it around. Because when you were like, he's against slavery, I was like, oh, cool, okay, great. So then we're good for the rest of the episode. And it's just like, no. And then you keep pulling the rug out from underneath me. I keep hoping this guy's going to be a good guy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it gets a bit better.
Well, all right. Don't give away too much.
Want to keep you in suspense, you know?
Yeah. He's going to die eventually, so that'll be good.
The colonizers undermined his efforts by continuing slave raids, which would then result in retaliation by the natives. And they also, the colonizers, harassed Las Casas and his men. So they made his life generally hard.
So that checks out, yeah.
Yeah. Early in 1522, Las Casas left the settlement he was in to complain to the authorities about all his enemies.
I am going to leave them a strongly worded letter.
Yeah, basically. But to do that, he still had to get into a ship, you know?
Yeah. So wait, he's going back to Spain to complain.
Maybe it's not clear where he went. But while he was gone, the natives attacked the settlement of Cumana, burned it to the ground, and killed 4 of his men.
Oh.
He returned to Hispaniola in 1522, in January 1522. So he can't have gone far because he still returned in January.
Okay.
And heard news of the massacre. Massacre is a strong word for 4 people in the context.
Well, no, wait, but they killed...
That's what Wikipedia says.
Well, they killed a bunch of people, including 4 of his men, right?
Oh, yeah. Good point. Okay, fair enough.
Also, what's your definition of a massacre?
Standing up to the...
You're just like, 10 people, that's hardly a massacre. 10 people. Come on, people. Let's have some standards. Anyways.
Let's be accurate.
It's hardly mass murder. Like, if you kill 2 people, does that make you a serial killer?
No, but I mean, in the context of, the colonizers who were architecting genocide.
Right. No, I mean, no one's saying that they didn't have it coming. It's like, I am against massacres in general, but it's like, oh, you massacred a bunch of slavers? Oh, fuck them, man.
That is the official position of the podcast.
Yeah, if you advocate for slavery or the enslavement of any people, go to hell. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You get what you get.
Agreed. So he returned to Hispaniola and heard news of the massacre. The rumours even included that he had been among the people who'd been killed.
So he fakes his own death and starts over with a new life.
One where he doesn't. He's not in favour of slavery in any form. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Which is like, actually, well, yeah, it's like, if I could be dead and then people wouldn't throw dung at me in the streets anymore.
To make matters worse, his detractors used the event as evidence of the need to pacify the natives using force, which is a shame. Right. So devastated, Las Casas reacted by entering the Dominican monastery of Santa Cruz in Santo Domingo as a novice and finally taking holy vows as a Dominican friar in 1523. So he got more into God at this point. Clearly this diplomacy, pissing off all the rich, powerful, violent bastards is not working.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need some more prayer.
Right. Okay. So he's like, the solution to this is more religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so I think at this point was when he realised that actually Africans were also people.
So good.
And so he did develop his position to not include enslaving anyone.
Oh, okay. Wow. What a...
So...
People can change.
Big round of applause for that.
Yeah, super.
There's little information about his activities in the following 10 years.
But wait, did we have any reason why he was suddenly like, those are human beings too? Oh, okay.
I think it was just, like, it was a slippery slope from some people who aren't white are also people to, like, maybe all people are people if they're not white. So it's like, because he did, I think when he joined the monastery, he did a bit more, like, studying type stuff.
Let me take a look at this Bible again.
Yeah, he read some more philosophy and stuff like that.
Hey, did you know? Like, I was reading the Bible here, and it turns out Jesus might not have been white. And it makes me think that maybe non-white people are okay.
Something like that. I think that's what happened. So, yeah, he'd later accompany missions to Guatemala and Mexico. I think kind of as like a chaperone to these missions to try and like be like, don't be violent, please.
No hanky-panky.
Yeah. And by hanky-panky, we mean owning people.
Hey, can we not genocide on this trip, guys? Come on. Hey, one time. Come on, guys. Help me out here.
We did some genocide last year, okay? It doesn't have to be an every year thing. We made some memories, but let's move on.
What if this time we just take like some flowers and some pretty stones that we find instead of human beings back with
boring.
us? Look at this interesting rock I found that looks like the Pope. Look at that. Why don't we take that instead of this family that you've enslaved?
It won't dig up resources for me, that stone.
It's an uncanny likeness.
Okay.
Anyway.
I guess. So, God, this is so long. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I just wish he was a nicer person for it to be this long.
Yeah, but I felt like because it's like such a sort of, contentious thing that I didn't want to skip over stuff to not do it justice,
right.
So he kind of chaperoned missions, hopefully, to try and make sure they were less
genocide-y,
violent and exploitative. Yeah.
Let's just indoctrinate these people with our religion instead of enslaving them physically.
Well, basically. But you could argue that resulted in more humane approaches, as I will attempt to outline. So in 1536, he went to Oaxaca, Mexico, to participate in a series of debates and discussions among the bishops of the Dominican and Franciscan orders. The two orders had very different approaches to the idea of conversion. And the Franciscans used a method of mass conversion, sometimes baptizing thousands of native people every day.
Oh, that's better than I thought. I was like, they had different methods. The Dominicans would go and they would preach to the people, and the Franciscans would stab them. No. You stab a few, and then suddenly, the conversion numbers go way up.
As a percentage of who's left, yeah. Las Casas made many enemies among the Franciscans for arguing that conversions made without adequate understanding were invalid. So I think a generous interpretation of that was he was actually saying we shouldn't just indoctrinate people or like get them to agree when they don't even understand the language.
Right.
We should make more of an effort. So his proposed method of conversion was based on two principles. One, to preach the gospel to all men and treat them as equals, which was wild.
Okay, whatever, man. Okay.
I want what he's having because he sounds nuts.
Okay, so wait, so we're all, children of God or something? Yeah, fuck off.
And to assert that conversion must be voluntary and based on knowledge and understanding of the faith. So rather than this coercive, the stabbing approach.
Yeah, so it's like you should join a religion willingly.
Only if you actually know what it is.
Yeah, that you know what it is. Listen, it's just like, we're going to need you to join this religion. What's the deal? I don't know. It's like, you're going to need to eat some guy's flesh and and tell me every secret you've ever had. So.
Okay, well, I don't speak English, so that all sounds fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess,
Spanish in this case.
But I don't speak Latin, so I have no idea what you're saying at Mass.
Yeah. He even managed to convince the Pope to acknowledge that, quote, this is going to hurt me to say this quote.
I thought you were going to say he convinced the Pope to be Christian. He converted the Pope.
Well, in as many words, because he convinced Pope Paul III to acknowledge that, quote, Indians were rational beings and should be brought peacefully to the faith as such. So what a nice achievement. Big yay.
Big okay. I mean, I feel like for the time. No, I don't know. I can't really It's not great. Yeah.
It's like you were saying about like how in all times people have been like, no, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And he's getting quite a fair bit of credit for it.
Yeah.
So he was able to test out this vision through conducting missions in Guatemala.
Uh-huh.
And in 1540, he returned to Spain to get a royal decree forbidding secular intrusion into the territories for the next 5 years. So this was in Guatemala. So
okay, wait, so
the idea being that the secular colonizers were the ones who were doing actual violence, whereas the religious ones were just kind of doing mind games.
Yeah, cultural destruction.
Cultural violence, yeah. So,
Neat.
but I think he was also against, like, destroying people's, like, traditions and artifacts and stuff.
Right.
Like, in the process. So, I guess his approach to conversion was less kind of severe than it probably would have been by a lot of other people.
Sure. Yeah. And so he was just like, hey, we need a 5-year moratorium before you come in and strip mine.
I guess it was a bit like, you know, any kind of political thing where it's like, what if we had this idea that, you know, everyone deserves to eat? And it's like, okay, well, I'll meet you in the middle and say, you know, we'll give you an insufficient tiny amount of money towards food.
Right.
You know, it's like that kind of things. The power of reaching across the aisle.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, it was a kind of compromise kind of thing. And he got theological condemnation of the practice of mass baptisms.
Okay.
So baby steps.
Sure.
But some successes.
15th century progressivism.
Yeah. However,
oh, good.
he recognised it was still a pressing matter to plead once again for the better treatment of native people.
Okay.
With Charles V, who was by now Holy Roman Emperor and no longer a boy.
Oh, good for him.
So he wrote a letter asking permission to stay in Spain a little longer to argue with the emperor that conversion and colonization were best achieved by peaceful means. So again, I think he was like, well, I recognize that I'm not going to be able to stop you colonizing, but maybe, we could do this with less murder.
He's putting such a friendly face on colonization. It's so great.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So he presented to a series of hearings starting in 1542 a narrative of the atrocities against the natives that would be later published in 1552 as Brevísima Relación de la Destrucción de las Indias. So a brief account of the destruction of the Indies.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I think in Spain there was maybe this impression that like, oh, all this money's just coming because we're sending boats over there, and a sort of denial about what was actually involved in acquiring that.
Empty boat goes out, boat comes back full of gold.
Full of gold.
I don't really need to know about that middle step. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Is the boat coming back full of gold? Then it's fine.
It's the old-timey equivalent of Amazon,
yeah.
Right? It's like just a click of a button and I get a thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And no one has to know what goes on in between.
Probably a robot did it.
Yeah, he set out the reality of what was happening. And he argued that the only solution was to remove all Indians from the care of secular Spaniards.
Oh, that's good.
Which I like how he's like, oh, what's the problem is, you know, despite the fact that he had been a priest when he'd been a colonizer,
right.
He was like, no, it's secularism that's the problem.
Of course.
And yeah, so he was saying that they had to abolish the encomienda system and instead put the people under the crown as royal tribute-paying subjects.
Okay.
So, again, it was still...
But if they were subjects, they would at least have the rights of other subjects, right?
Yeah, so I think it was like, increasing the freedoms, still under a banner of imperialism.
Right.
So, yeah, baby steps again.
Sure.
But on the 20th November 1542, the Emperor signed the new laws abolishing the encomiendas and removing certain officials from the Council of the Indies. The new laws made it...
You can't be on this council anymore. You are a real problem.
Yeah. You're a piece of shit. Yeah. The new laws made it illegal to use Indians as carriers, which I think is like, you know...
Pack animals.
Like, literally, yeah. Except where no other transport was available.
All right. Well, you don't want to. This is like the 13th Amendment. You know the 13th Amendment? Yeah, it's like 13th Amendment is the amendment that outlawed slavery in America.
Right.
And it was like, slavery's outlawed except for imprisoned people. So that's why
right. So then now they just imprison more people.
So then it's like, okay. Yeah, and then a lot of races were like, oh, we get this, wink. Yeah, we'll just suddenly...
This is no longer a plantation, it's a jail.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was like suddenly a lot of things became illegal. And those laws were not...
Including being black.
Yeah, it turns out that the most illegal thing is being African American.
Wow.
And it was like, and it turned out that like all these new laws, and they're maybe not being enforced equally. There are perhaps certain groups that are being targeted more than other groups.
Randomly selected.
Yeah, it's
stopping and searching.
I don't know. Like we took a look around. It turned out that they were all the same color. It was weird, right? Oh well.
But I don't see color, so it couldn't have been my fault.
Yeah. So a bit
of a caveat there.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But it did prohibit all taking of, quote, Indians as slaves.
Right. Okay. Something.
And it instated a gradual abolition of the encomienda system, with each encomienda reverting to the crown at the death of its holders. It also exempted the few surviving Indians of Hispaniola, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Jamaica from tribute and all requirements of personal service.
Okay.
However, they were so unpopular in the New World that riots broke out and threats were made against Las Casas' life. So I think although he's still not great, he did sort of suffer for his cause.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, it does, again, it feels like these are improvement. No one's saying...
But they're not like an overhaul of the system.
Right. We're not saying this is quite justice or equity or anything like that nature, but we are saying like, hey, at least we're not always forcing Native people to carry our shit.
So that's win, huh?
That's something, right? That's a little bit better. It's kind of the problem with compromise sometimes is that sometimes the compromise is still really fucking shitty for
really
people.
Bad. Yeah. Well, to be fair, Las Casas himself was not satisfied with the laws because they were not drastic enough.
Good.
And the whole gradual abolition plan meant that the system was still going to be in place for many years.
Yeah, for like a generation, right? So there's still a whole generation of people who...
Yeah. But hey, at least it couldn't be hereditary, so that's... Yeah, that's something. He drafted a suggestion for an amendment arguing that laws against slavery were formulated in such a way that it still presupposed violent conquest would be carried out. So he was saying that there shouldn't be any slavery at this point, which was good.
Well, is he saying there shouldn't be any violent conquest either?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think so.
Wow, that's radical.
So he'd really changed his mind, both on slavery and war.
Yeah, well, good for him.
I think that deserves a big round of
applause.
applause.
I feel like this. I mean, coming out against violent conquest, late, but still good.
Yeah. To be honest, the more we talk about this, the more I'm like, why did I choose this guy?
I'm wondering that too.
I think we're in too deep now. Just got to keep going.
Yeah, that's all right.
So after these laws were established, Las Casas returned to the New World and became Bishop of Chiapas in Mexico.
Ooh, promotion.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it meant that he could make some rules because he had a jurisdiction. So he made...
Rule number 1, Taco Tuesdays.
So yeah, he continued to make theological arguments against colonization. For example, refusing absolution to slave owners, even on their deathbed, unless all their slaves had been set free and their property returned to them. So he was like, you're in my town now.
Yeah.
No absolution for you. So that's good, because often people, they're like, they claim to be sorry on their deathbed so that they can get into heaven. And he's like, only if you mean it.
I do love the idea of him showing up at your deathbed and being like, oh, you didn't put your slaves on. Sorry, no absolution for you, buddy. Oh, hope you enjoy hell. Nothing I can do. Oh, my hands are tied. Sorry. Unless you want to just let your slaves go now. It's not too late.
He furthermore threatened that anyone who mistreated natives within his jurisdiction would be excommunicated.
Ooh.
So he's gone full radical.
Digging it. I like this.
Sadly, though, 3 years after they were established, the new laws were repealed.
Oh.
And in 1545, and riots broke out against Las Casas again, with shots being fired against him by angry colonists. so he was a target. After a year, he'd made himself so unpopular among the Spaniards in the area that he had to leave, never to return.
Right.
He left behind a load of unresolved issues and a confessionario, a manual for the administration of the sacrament of confession in his diocese, which outlined that whoever took over from him should still refuse absolution to slave owners who didn't repent.
Okay, so he's got a manifesto.
Yeah.
But he has to leave, which honestly, leaving Mexico, he's personally decolonizing himself.
There's one less white person there, that's
why I left America. I'm decolonizing.
Arriving in Spain, he was met with a barrage of accusations, many of them based on this confessionario and its 12 rules, because his opponents argued that this was a denial of the legitimacy of Spanish rule in its colonies and therefore a form of treason.
What?
Which is pretty serious.
But he was put in charge. Example, then why was it treason? I don't know, whatever. It's okay.
Well, for example, the crown had received a fifth of the large number of slaves taken in the recent Mixton War, and so could not be held clean of guilt under Las Casas' rules.
Oh, I see.
So in 1548, the crown decreed that all copies of Las Casas' writing be burnt, and his Franciscan adversary, Motolinia, obliged and sent back a report to Spain. Las Casas defended himself by writing 2 treatises on the just title, arguing that the only legality with which the Spaniards could claim titles over realms in the New World was through peaceful proselytizing.
Yeah, I guess.
All warfare was illegal and unjust.
Yeah.
And only through the papal mandate of peacefully bringing Christianity to heathen peoples could the just titles be acquired. He got there in the end.
Kind of.
Sort of.
He's still saying, like, look, we need to convert these people.
Yeah, but they are people.
So
this is big progress. He spent the rest of his life working closely with the imperial court in matters relating to the Indies and in advocating for the natives, many of whom directed petitions for him to speak to the emperor on their behalf. His influence at court was so great that some even considered that he had the final word in choosing the members of the Council of the Indies.
Oh.
So, yeah, it sounds like he would have been better if he'd just mainly stayed in Spain.
I guess so, yeah.
After the first time he realised that it was all wrong. But then I guess, his position did become more refined over the times he spent in various colonial settings. So, but it sounds like he was more effective when he was back in Spain.
I suppose that's true, yeah. Yeah, because it does seem like you weren't really going to win over the people who were already there and profiting.
Directly.
Yeah.
Well, who'd already, closed their eyes to the bad stuff.
Right. They were already I'm making hand over fist here by enslaving people.
Yeah.
So
that's all that matters.
I don't really see a problem with this system because I'm pretty well off. So.
Doing very well. Yeah. So, in 1551, he rented a cell at the College of San Gregorio, and that's where he sort of used as his base for doing this work, advocating for native people. And in 1565, he wrote his last will and testament, signing over his immense library of writings to the college.
Oh, that's nice.
The emperor, probably because of the doubts caused by Las Casas' arguments, never took a final decision on the issue of the encomiendas. So, mixed results, but, at least he was asking questions.
Right. So there were no new encomiendas, right? Or
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyways, but the king never really took a stand, which kind of sucks. Okay.
Which is good because I mean, he could have taken, he could have had strong views the other way and been like, nah, more slaves.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe Las Casas, tempered his attitude a bit.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you are silent about oppression, you're pretty much complicit in it. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but he wasn't silent, this guy, but the emperor was.
Yeah, but and then also you're the emperor, so you could kind of have a lip.
Yeah, you're definitely an oppressor. Yeah.
I mean, you could do more, but then I guess it's he depends on all these lower ranking royals who are getting rich from all these rich people who are getting rich from slavery to maintain his power, and so it sucks. Everything sucks.
It does.
I hate this.
Sorry.
That's all right.
So, Bartolomé died on the 18th of July. Today!
Yay! It's sad that he died.
1566.
I mean, I guess it's not, I don't know. I guess he's trying. I can't fault the man for trying. But
God loves a trier.
Yeah.
So yeah, in Madrid, and he's buried in the Basilica of Our Lady of Atocha in Madrid.
Okay, that lady was a talker. So okay.
That's it.
Any relics or any namesakes or anything? Did he become more popular after he died?
Well, so he's a very controversial figure in history.
Okay.
But the controversy is mainly by people who I think are bad.
Yeah.
So that's why I was more kind of keen to give him some consideration, I think.
Yeah.
Because basically, by some, he's considered to be one of the first advocates for a universal conception of human dignity, which later became like human rights.
Okay.
So by recognizing people of color as people.
Right, yeah.
It's a very low bar.
It's a low bar.
But it was like the first step.
But I guess he's out there being like, what if people? And everybody else is like, no. But he's like, but people, maybe. And then
yeah.
And that's the first step of like, yeah, I get that yeah. I can see that's the thing is like contextually, and it's certainly like he had a lot of growing to do. I wish he hadn't spent 13 years enslaving people.
Yeah.
But in the end, he kind of seems to be an advocate for the base humanity of everybody, every human being.
Right.
So it's something.
Mm-hmm.
And
he is so.
And 300 years later, he got all rid of slavery. And
now everyone's fine.
Yeah, everybody's fine.
So yeah, although he didn't completely succeed in changing Spanish views on colonization, his efforts did result in improvement of the legal status of the natives.
Okay.
And in an increased colonial focus on the ethics of colonialism. So again, like, well, maybe we should think about this just a little bit. That was his contribution, I think. But the controversy is that right-wing historians are like, oh, he was discrediting the Spanish Empire and yeah, like, oh, he made it out to be worse than it was. And it's like people, arguing against statues being taken down, being like, oh, you can't rewrite history.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, no, the history was inaccurate in the first
No, yeah,
place.
it's like it was like, no, it turns out there was no bottom to this, and it got worse and worse the more you dug. And, it was just, it's like you just didn't bother to do the work to begin with. And now that somebody's actually pointed it out to you, you're upset. It's like, you can't be upset about what happened and how fucked up it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, there's a thing called the Black Legend, which is like a kind of historiographical theory about like anti-Catholic propaganda that basically says that Spanish colonialism was the worst. And so critics of Las Casas suggest that he contributed to anti-Catholic propaganda, even though he was a Catholic.
Right.
It's like how Bernie Sanders is anti-Semitic, right?
Right.
Even though he's Jewish.
I mean, by pointing out things that people did doesn't mean you're anti, I don't know.
Those people.
Yeah.
It's like you're anti their actions. Yeah. Not them. It's not a personal attack.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't hate Americans. I hate what the American government does sometimes.
I don't hate Americans. I hate America.
Yeah, I hate the American government and some of the decisions it often makes about,
Well, the thing is, it's like with gerrymandering and voter suppression and stuff, it's like you can hate the American government, but like even when it changes, it doesn't really change because of the whole system. But anyway, so there's this thing called the Black Legend, which is like, accounts of atrocities by Spanish colonizers were exaggerated to make them worse. And then there's a counter, like, so
genocide. It's genocide. You can't make it worse.
Oh, but but it made a lot of people rich. And it's nonsense because, as you say, all colonialism is bad. Yeah. It is the official viewpoint of this podcast that all colonialism is bad.
Yeah, and also genocide. We're also against genocide, which the two go...
Against genocide, against killing 2-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, we're just against killing, and en masse or individually. Please don't.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So as an attempt to subvert the Black Legend, right-wing historians have tried to create a white legend that argues that the Spanish Empire was benevolent And proponents of this have said that Casas was a madman, a paranoia, and a traitor to his own nation. So this account alone made me just want to be like, no, we champion this guy.
No. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair. No, I was against Casas for most of the time. Yeah, no.
But now you've learned that fascists hate him. You're like, actually.
Actually, if you look, the Spanish colonizers brought a lot of nice roads to, Hispaniola, and nobody talks about the roads. Everybody talks about the piles of dead bodies, and the enslavement and genocide of a people. They don't really talk about how nice the roads are.
But yeah, so although the bar was very low, I feel like that justified, bringing light to him.
Yeah.
I still feel like maybe he shouldn't be super celebrated, but at the same time,
he's certainly a very flawed figure.
Yeah, which in a way aren't all saints. And we cover over people's flaws.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he is definitely more flawed than St. Genevieve, for example, who never did anything that great, but also didn't do anything like participating in
in a horribly contract system. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like the whole concept of sanctifying a human being is to
putting them on a pedestal.
Yeah, to put them on a pedestal and say, look at this great example of Christianity in the world and this mark of goodness. And it's just well, maybe within the context of his time, he was more progressive than, say, people who literally kept people against their will and worked them to death. Yeah, certainly. That guy's better. This, if we're measuring, that's
really low.
If the bar is that's the measure. Then this guy's better. And it does feel like he tried to bring out positive change within the context of his world.
Also, to the expense of himself.
Yeah, and
in a way.
It does. He paid a price for it.
Yeah, he did upset a lot of people.
Well, I don't know if he paid that much of a price for it because he ended up at the court, at the right hand of the...
Yeah, true. But, he was, threatened a lot. Like anyone who speaks that. So, I guess it's when you, as a privileged person, give money to charity, it's well, your donation isn't going to change that much. It helps, but it mainly helps to just help you feel less guilty, right? Mm-hmm. It's a similar thing where it's I'd say it's better because it's he did actually kind of put his money where his mouth was, or he put himself, I guess he kind of put himself in danger in a way by speaking out. So although it's a really low bar to be oh, actually people who don't look like me are human beings, that's a low bar from our perspective because we can say that without being threatened.
Fair.
Although, can we?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
We can certainly say it to each other.
So, yeah, I don't know. But what do you think his patronages would be?
Is he the patron saint of colonizers? Is he the patron saint of people trying?
I think he should be.
Is he the patron saint of people who make a lot of transatlantic trips? Seems like he was
frequent flyers.
Frequent flyer. He was really going back and forth to Spain a lot. I was amazed how many times you were and then he went back to Spain. I was like, what? I feel like this is a one-time trip.
He maybe was not. Maybe he just didn't get seasick.
Maybe.
No, so he actually isn't a saint, but he is a servant of God.
Wait, what? You said what?
Well, because he has a commemoration day today, and he's venerated.
Okay.
And the church has begun the process for his beatification in 2002 in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
So he's not officially a saint yet, but I think he's on his way.
Oh, okay.
So they just need to find out. They need to find a bit more good stuff that he could have done. And then that would help.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I do feel like the 13 years of slave owning is a real black mark on the.
Maybe the process will never be complete because it's to find enough stuff to counterbalance.
Yeah,
that.
I feel like as time goes on, maybe the good that he did feels less good.
Especially he's considered to be one of the first advocates for human rights.
Yeah.
But then it's but eventually other people fought more strongly for that. So
right.
Is that really a contribution?
I mean, yeah, I guess if you think of it as a continuum, maybe this guy pushed the bar a little bit. And I mean, that's always been the fight for civil rights, has been people moving the needle a little bit, people getting a little bit more, changing society in small ways. Sadly, it takes these kind of glacial movements. And we can't just be hey, let's just not be fucking horrible to everybody all the time.
So yeah, basically, when I was looking for today's saint, I thought, he's maybe not the best candidate, but I felt like it was maybe an important discussion that we should include.
It's an interesting thing to talk about because it is. Yeah, he's not the best. I find this idea that he's not sanctified, that he's not beatified, is interesting because you were talking about like all these right-wing historians, and I was like, who are these fucking right-wing historians who give a shit? And I was like, I guess if there's like a controversy around him being sanctified, like beatified, there's probably a lot of people who are just like, well, this guy wasn't that great, and he's really down on the Spanish Empire. What did they ever do? And I feel like that's kind of interesting. I find the concept of right-wing historian almost an oxymoron.
It's really weird that the number of like Tories who study history, but like a kind of delusional version of history.
It is very much like this. It's the same thing in America where people are like, we can't forget our history, and it's like, so you want to make sure that we look at critical race theory, and it's like, no, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about statues. And it's like, okay, statues aren't history.
But also, I think because it was really recently that history became more actually critical rather than just kind of propaganda.
Right, that's fair.
And especially at like, if you go to historical universities that actually have like footholds in or vested interests in downplaying various legacies and stuff, then the accounts that you're going to be taught are going to be bullshit.
There's did you go to maybe one of those schools?
But I didn't study history, to be
That's
fair.
fair.
I studied fiction.
But I mean that is the thing, right? It's like these old organizations, they try to justify themselves with like the history of it. It's just like the history of denying places in this organization to women and people of color and the poor and people of a certain class, whatever.
To be fair, the longer I'm out of university, the more I'm like, oh, this wasn't actually something to be really proud of.
No.
Because it's, an aspiration that was created by the status quo.
Yeah.
But it was also like, it was sold to me as like, this is how you get social mobility, which is just not really true.
Man, it is like this thing, and I like living in Oxford, which does feel like a place that is so like steeped in tradition and whatever. And you're like, all this is bullshit. Why don't you guys not get? And somebody, I forget who said this, but it was like, tradition is just pure pressure from dead people. It's just like it's like you don't have to do any of this. It's all dumb. And if it's it's like, why not just walk away from it?
I mean, to be fair, I know Oxford University is older than America, but I feel like with
fair.
with like the idea that the Constitution has to be respected and stuff, it was like it was written, by a load of people,
white men
with no consideration for people who weren't white men,
pretty much,
and also a more limited knowledge of how the world works than we now have.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, so why would you think that they had all the best ideas about how to do things?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It is a bad.
So we're not just pissing off Christians today.
People before...
Piss off patriots.
What's the thing you were saying before? People versus principles. Yeah. I think that's...
Yeah.
It's like, if you're just being shitty to people, then you're doing the wrong thing. Anyways. So, Anna, do you think that you would...
That's a good message for for today.
Anna, do you think you would ever ask Bartolomé to intercede for you for any reason?
I guess if I was trying to negotiate and it wasn't going so well, I feel like he could be the patron saint of Theresa May.
Yeah.
Like when she was trying to get a good Brexit
just
deal
hopeless
and
negotiations.
Yeah. So if I was ever in that kind of position, then maybe.
I can see
that. As we've established, I don't know if the benefits outweigh the flaws.
That's fair.
So, but yeah, I mean, my allegiance to anyone who upsets fascists is kind of natural.
Fair, yeah. You do want to root for people who do upset the far right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could say that. If I had a large portion of the island of Hispaniola angry at me, I might try to get his advice on how I got out of that. So I guess the idea is just to go to Europe. So I did it. So actually, I don't need him. So
Oh, you basically you're saying you've already prayed to this guy and he's already interceded.
Yeah,
for you.
I already. You know what? I cannot go back to Hispaniola for reasons I don't want to go into right now. But but that's okay. Well, Anna, thank you so much for your extensive research into this questionable individual. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm glad it brought some insights.
Interesting, but flawed, certainly. All right.
Just like we all
Aren't we all, though? Yes.
Amen to that.
Yes.
Have a blessed day.
Bye.
Bye.